Well, I'm sure you had a restful day after yesterday's May Day holiday. And I'm also sure you saw many converge at the Independence Square here in Accra and other regional capitals just to push for equitable pensions on behalf of all of us. Well, one of the demands they made was the issue of transparency in the way pension benefits are calculated. This, they say, will give every qualified contributor the conviction that they have indeed received the right pension payment in their old age. Today, we have with us experts from SNIT. First, though, listen to TUC Secretary General Dr. Yao raising concerns about the pension calculations.
That is inequality in pension benefits. We expect that there will be a policy to correct all this during your term of office. Another shortcoming has to do with some kind of discrimination against women in terms of women's access to Social Security. This is another weakness that has to be corrected. These weaknesses in our pension system could be attributed to inherent flaws in the legislation governing Social Security, as well as failure of our social policy to recognize the needs of vulnerable people in our society. Mr. President, this has to be corrected. Pension analysts and actuaries are very quick to point to low salaries in Ghana as the cause of inadequate pension. So in 2017, organized labor constituted a technical committee to investigate the computation of pension benefits. The committee found that, yes, indeed, low level of pay is an important factor. But another important factor which is contributing to low pensions has to do with the way pensions are computed. So in the last 2 years, organized labor has been engaging board and management of SNIT and MPRA on the computation of Social Security benefits. Mr. President, I'm very pleased to inform you that we are making very good progress.
So that was yesterday, the TUC's leader there. President Akufo-Addo has already asked that the committee meets to discuss this and other pension-related concerns. Listen.
I look forward to all Ghanaian workers recognizing the importance of pensions and gaining confidence in the sector. The current system gives the individual worker the opportunity to have absolute control over his or her pension through effective and transparent management. As I told you last year, over 3 billion CDs, i.e. 3.1 billion CDs of pension funds that had been outstanding for 6 years, and about which TUC had been loudly complaining. Pension fund managers and trustees have a lot of work to do to build and retrain the trust of workers. For many people, this is all new and uncharted territory. There are understandable anxieties that must be assuaged by working with the highest level of diligence and honesty in managing the resources entrusted to them. I acknowledge that there are unresolved issues with the Social Security and National Insurance Trust, SNIT, and the NPRA. I've asked the Minister for Employment and Labor Relations to liaise with SNIT and NPRA to bring finality to all outstanding issues in the next 3 months. In much the same way that we should build trust between workers and the new private pension companies, it's equally important that there's trust between workers and the state-established SNIT. I'm informed that the Ministry of Finance has arranged for payment of 200 million CDs and the bond of 700 million CDs towards the retirement of the arrears owed to SNIT. This will leave arrears of 800 million CDs, which will be included in next year's budget.
President Akufo-Addo there with a response. Well, my guest is already here in the studio with me. But before we start that conversation, take a listen to the Minority Spokesperson on Employment and Social Welfare Committee, Dr. Kwabena Donkor, who is accusing government of politicizing the management of pension schemes in the country.
There are disharmonies in the pension regime, but we should not rush to harmonize without agreeing on the underlying causes. We cannot put everybody on the same pension. The security services generally and in most jurisdictions tend to have a different scheme of service because of the nature of their services. So we should take a second look at it as a nation and then see what is good for this country going forward.
And the president's directed, resolution of the challenges. For you, how form should that take? A total overhaul, a harmonization?
Well, I believe both. Yeah, there are aspects of the existing SNET pension scheme, the nature of SNET investments, how profitable those investments have become, and then the use of pension funds will have to be better regulated.
And I guess with the use of pension funds, then it goes back to, for example, its use in the banking saga, which you repeatedly made the point wasn't a good idea.
It wasn't a good idea. It wasn't a good idea. So the use of pension funds should be better regulated, and it should, pension administration should be more professional than it should not be a diktat.
For now, what are you seeing? Non-professional political management of pension funds? Is that what you're saying?
I think the politics, the partisanship in the management doesn't augur well for us, the country.
That's Dr. Kwabena Donkor there, who is also on the Employment Committee in Parliament, speaking to it. So you've heard various versions of the conversation. But the question to you is how much you know about SNET pension calculation. Do you know anything about it at all? We've asked you to share your thoughts with us on Facebook. But joining me in the studio for that education is Victoria Gifty Abedu, Customer Experience Manager at SNET. Also joining us on the line will be Vice President of the Ghana Pensioners Association, Stephen Boache, and I'll be talking to him momentarily. But Madam Gifty is here. Victoria Gifty is here. It's interesting that you have Victoria and have my name as well. In addition, you're welcome to the show.
Thank you, Gifty.
Okay, so today we're basically going to take people through what it means to get 300 cedis, what our grandparents and our parents are getting in terms of SNET, their retirement benefit from SNET. But I'd like for us to start with the very basic information that everyone must know when it comes to SNET and when it comes to the contribution, when it comes to how much you will get at the end of the day. What's the basic information that everybody must know? If you can share that with us before we start.
That Social Security is a scheme that has been set up for every worker. The fact that you are working, you are entitled to, you have a right to Social Security. So if you get employed, you're supposed to get a Social Security number, and you give the number to your employer, and it's upon that your employer will contribute make your contributions into the scheme. Okay. What it is every month, the monthly basic salary that you receive, we are not talking about gross here.
Net.
The base, not the net.
Okay.
You know, when you take your pay slip, you have your basic salary, you have other allowances, you have so many other things, and you get your gross.
Okay.
After that, tax is taken out. Whatever deductions your employer will have to make is done, and then you have your net. But Social Security contributions are made on only the basic.
Okay. Okay.
So you can have a net that is as huge as ever because allowances are huge.
So let's try to work with some figures here. So you have a basic that's, let's say, 1,000. 1,000 cedis, and then you have other allowances. Let's say that amounts to 200. So you're looking at 1,200. Then, so in that case, is your gross 1,200?
Yes, that's
your gross is 1,200.
Yes.
Okay, so 1,200. The basic then is 1,000.
That's it.
What is the information on the basic you wanted to share with us now?
The basic salary, we have 5.5% of that taken out as your contributions from your salary as an employee. And your employer will have to add 13% to that, making 18.5%. And then 13.5% of that 18.5 is given to SNET.
Okay.
And when we have received the 13.5%, 2.5% is given to National Health Insurance. So in effect, the contributions that has come to us, your contribution that we have received is the 11% of the 1,000 cedis of your basic salary.
Okay, this is really interesting, and I hope that you're getting it. And one of the reasons why we've asked you to share your thoughts with us on Facebook is for us to understand, to have the confidence that you really understand it, that this is not a venture in futility, that as she's explaining, you understand, I understand, and I hope that you do too. So she's basically saying that if you take your basic salary, and the basic salary, like, you know, she broke it down to us, there's basic, you can have other allowances, and then you have, that makes up the gross. So the basic, assuming it's 1,000 cedis, you have other allowances amounting to 200 cedis, that's 1,200. Your gross then is 1,200. Now they do their calculation based on the basic. So from that 1,000, you get 5.5% taken off, and then your employer adds what, 13%, and then that 18.5% is paid to SNET.
No, the 18.5% total that we will get. You have
2.5 of it.
13%, 13.5% coming to SNET, and the 5% will go to your fund managers for the second tier.
Oh, okay. Okay, so these are the basic information that you need to know. It can get technical, I know, but let's try and see if we can have a better understanding. So based on this, how much is the minimum take home for a pensioner at the moment?
We have 300 cedis as the minimum pension.
300, and the maximum is what?
And the maximum we have over 50, I think 55,000 plus.
55,000, that's a lot of money.
Yes.
So someone can actually be taking 55,000 in pension?
That's exactly what the man or woman is taking at the end of every month.
Okay, okay, all right. So the minimum is 300.
Yes.
Maximum is about
55,000.
55,000. 55,000, which is like 500 million.
55,899.
Okay. So we're looking at between 300 cedis and 55,000 as the minimum and the maximum pension that people are taking home at the moment. The TU boss spoke about a lot of weaknesses, but what we want to focus on is how people can understand how much they get at the end of the day. So if I'm getting 300, what goes into it?
The 300 that we are talking about, the people receiving the 300 actually wouldn't have the 300 because their social security contributions were on the minimum wage.
Okay.
And the minimum wage we have here now is 287.
Okay.
Okay. So if you look at 287, that the person is paying the contributions 5.5% and 13%, and the 13.5% coming to SNET, and SNET maintaining just or retaining just 11% and working it out. You know, at the end of the day, when we compute the pensions, the person is receiving. I have a small figure here. They're supposed to pay the person 143 cedis every month.
143 cedis every month.
Every month, yes.
So then the minimum is not 300 cedis.
So as a social insurance,
but then you get everything.
As a social insurance scheme, you need to make the person comfortable. You need to take the person out of destitution. That is why every year SNET will set the minimum pension to cushion this person who's supposed to receive 143 cedis.
So at the moment, what kind of cushion are you providing for people? Is that the 143 cedis?
The difference between 143 and 300 is the responsibility of SNET.
Okay, so ideally, the people should be, now I'm getting understanding. Ideally, people should be taking a minimum of 143, but SNET is giving them 300
yes.
to cushion them.
Yes.
Okay, what goes into this 300? You wanted to explain that to us as to how we can do the computation ourselves. And they say that this is available on their website, on SNET website. If you want to get to understand it yourself, it's available on the SNET website. One of the things that she's going to do right now is to take us through the process so that if you are at home and you want to understand what goes into how much you're getting, you can do so yourself. So grab your phone, open the internet, and you have to go to www.snit.org.gh. Okay, so take your phone or take your computer. Let's go to www.snit.org.gh. Okay, so that's www.snit.org. So that's ssnit.org.gh. So let's start the process now, please.
When you go to the website, we have home about SNET, news, careers, FAQ, resources, media, self-service, contact us, and search.
Okay.
So if you want to calculate your pension, or if you want to know how much you're going to receive when you're on retirement, then you have to go to self-service.
Okay. So you click on self-service, and that takes you here. So yeah, you are here.
On the left-hand side, we have getting started, and we have a lot of information there to help you how to use the website.
Okay.
On the right-hand side, we have quick links. The quick links, we have survivors benefit application that you can initiate from there. Employer enrollment
and
member.
Hold on, ma'am. So, survivors benefit application, that's what?
Survivors benefit here, we are talking about if a contributor or a pensioner dies and still has benefit to, the pensioner has benefit to claim. And then the contributor to obviously has not taken any benefit from us. Then the surviving parents, the surviving children, surviving spouse that they have nominated will come to SNIT for the application.
Okay. Okay, and on that same list, we have employer enrollment.
Yes, and then we have
a bit of that
employer enrollment. Anybody who has started a business and will have to register with SNIT can initiate the application over here.
So that you pay for your employees.
Yes.
Okay, and this is a requirement. This is a legal requirement. If people are working for you, you need to pay their SNIT
contributions to SNIT.
The contribution to SNIT. It is a requirement. Okay. Then there's member enrollment.
Yes. Every worker, every worker will have to be enrolled onto the scheme.
Okay.
Now, from there we go to the pension calculator. That is where our interest is.
Okay, so when you click on that, this is what you see. Pension calculator.
It has a caveat here. You must be at least 55 years to use this calculator.
But why?
Because pension application starts from 55 when you voluntarily decide to go on retirement. So
because then that's a problem why a lot of people don't seem to know a lot.
It is not. What it is if I am 49 years now, if I decide to retire at 55, then I want to know how much I will get when I get to the age of 55.
But can I still calculate my pension without necessarily being 55 right now?
That is what I'm saying. I'm 49, so maybe I want to go at age 55. So I'll just click yes.
Oh, just for you to agree to the terms.
Yes, for me to understand that when I go at the age of 55 and I give myself a salary of so much and I input everything in the formula that it gives, I'll be able to see how much I'm receiving when I retire.
Okay, so basically what you have there is just for formalities, you know what I mean? So you just so it helps you to click to I agree to this condition so it can take you to the next page. So when you click, I agree to these conditions, it gives you the option to continue. And you have to click on that as well to continue. So when you continue, this is what you see.
Yes.
You have something that's giving you the option to select your date of birth.
Exactly. Okay. And we are assuming here that
you are 55. Okay.
Yes, or 60.
Okay.
You know, we are 1959, so I'm assuming I'm 60 years.
Okay.
And January 2nd is my date.
It's your birthday.
Yes.
Okay.
So
after that, it goes to the page allows you to select your proposed month and year of retirement. Okay.
It.
So the year of retirement is what, 2019?
Because my date of birth is January 2nd. I pick January to be my retirement month.
Okay.
Because in Ghana, it is compulsory to go on retirement at age 60.
Okay.
So January 2019, I am 60 and I'm compulsorily bowing out.
Okay.
And supposing I've made a total number of months of 180.
180 months?
Yes.
In terms of your contribution?
Yes.
Okay.
Your keyboard, please.
All right. So if you have made the number You go here.
Is that?
And then you get to key in the number of months you've done. So we're assuming that we've done what, 18, you say?
180.
180.
If you want to.
So
Okay, maybe.
okay, so here, so hold on, here we go. So I hope that if you're at home, you're following with us and you're doing your calculation. We are assuming that the person doing this calculation is 60 years, is born in January, retiring in January.
Yeah.
So you select your estimated total number of months of contribution payment to the scheme as of your proposed date of retirement. So that will be, we're assuming 180 months.
Yes.
And then you enter your estimated average of 3 highest annual salary on your proposed date of retirement. That's interesting.
So assuming we have the minimum wage of 287, it gives us an annual salary of 3,444.
Okay, that's 3,444. Okay, so 3,444.
Yes.
Okay, and then with this, or with all of this information, you now calculate pension.
Yes.
Okay, so I hope you're following. So first of all, you select your date of birth, your year of birth, your month of birth, and then the day. And then you select proposed month and year of your retirement. You put that in there as well. That has to do with the year and the month. And then you select the estimated total number of month contributions. So you do the calculation. We're assuming we're using 180 months.
Yes.
And then you enter your estimated average
salary
of 3 highest. And now that has been done as well. We're using the basic, the minimum salary, which is 200, minimum wage, which is 287. So after you've done that, what do you do next?
You calculate pension, as simple as that.
So do you want to click on that right now? Okay.
Is it responding?
It will? Okay. So we want to check out what this will give us. Your age is more than 50 years on 1st January 2010. You belong to the
247.
PNDC Law 247 scheme option.
Yes.
You should therefore contribute a minimum of 240 months to qualify for pension. So hold on.
You see, yes. With the advent of Act 766, we had a cutoff point for those who will have to contribute under PNDC Law 247. Okay. And those who will contribute under Act 766.
PNDC Law 247, yes. What does it say?
It says that if you were 50 years at the time of implementation of Act 766, then you belong to PNDC Law 247.
Law 247.
Yes,
okay,
so
and that calculation is different?
Yes, that is why it is asking us to use 240. Because I am 60 years this year, the presumption is that when we started implementing Act 766 2010, I was 50 years.
Okay,
so
you
then
go
we'll
back to PNDC Law 247. Okay, okay.
So here we'll have to change
the number of months.
Yes.
Okay, so let's try and change the number of months here. So how many months?
I will have to. No.
So how many months are
240.
You
That's the minimum contributions you can get to enjoy PNDC Law 247. So
we put in 240 and try and get this 180
out.
That has become a Mugabe out of the box, so that we can continue. Okay, so essentially, when you key in these figures and you click on the calculator, what it gives you is that the amount you actually be earning every month when you go on retirement.
Come again.
When we key in these figures.
Yes.
Hold on. So 240, right?
Yes, 240.
240.
Yep.
And then we calculate pension.
Yes.
The amount we're going to see from here, is that the total amount you get at the end of every month?
Yes, we have.
So your intended, okay, let's start from the top.
Yeah, okay.
Your intended retirement age is 60 years. Yes. Your monthly pension will be subjected to an early retirement reduction. The applicable early retirement the reduction factor is
one.
what? 1.
1, yes.
Okay. What does that mean?
It means that if you decide to go on voluntary retirement, let's say 55 years,
yes,
you haven't exhausted the number of years you are supposed to contribute to the scheme before you can enjoy.
Okay.
Okay. So if you are coming in and telling us that you want to take your money that is due you at the age of 60, like you have done investment and you want to retire it when it is not due.
So it's like a penalty.
A discount factor, yes.
Okay. Well,
so,
and that's what, 1 cedi?
No, this is 100%. This one is indicating that because you are going at the age of 60, you have all your money given to you. That
so
is
there's
100%.
Nothing.
Yes.
Okay, that's why it's 1.
Yes.
So if you are retiring at 60 years, that's okay.
Yes.
But if you decide to retire earlier,
yes, there need to be point something.
There's some kind of penalty
exactly
that comes with it. So estimated number of months of contribution payments at retirement, that's 240 months, which is what we keyed in. And it appears that this is a little blurred on the television, as you can see on your screen. Let's see if we can increase this a little bit, give you a better view. Hopefully this is working. Okay, so there you go. This is the result of the information we just keyed in. So we're looking at, taking the information one after the other and trying to explain. Estimated number of months of contribution payments, we use 240 months. Average annual salary, that's 3,444. And this is based on the minimum wage. Your pension right credit on retirement is 50 cedis. What is that?
It's 50%.
Oh, 50%. Please explain.
Every year that you contribute to the scheme gives you a pension right. And the pension right is just the percentage of your salary that you earn. A percentage of your salary that you earn of every year contribution that you make. Now, PNDC Law 247, it has a minimum pension right of 50 for a total number of months of 240. So additional year that you do, you have additional pension right added on. And we have a maximum pension right of 80 under PNDC Law 247.
Okay.
Is that?
It's not too clear to me, but let's make progress.
What I said was, any contributions that you make, if you make it for a year, you are entitled to a percentage of your salary. And that is the pension right. And the minimum number of months that you can make to enjoy is 240. And the 240 gives you a minimum pension right of 50. But any additional year that you make will give you 1.1, I think it's 1.25. Every additional year that you make gives you 1.125.
So in this case, your annual pension is 1,722 cedis.
Yes.
If we are working with the basic at the minimum wage.
Yes.
The annual pension is 1,722.
Exactly.
And every month you get 143 cedis 50 pesos.
Yes.
But like you said, SNIT is giving people 300 cedis instead. It says also there that if you opt for a 25% lump sum, then your benefit information will be as follows.
Yes.
What does that mean? Before you give us that information, by the way, let me quickly acknowledge the presence of the president of the vice president of the Ghana Pensioners Association, Stephen Boache, on the line. Mr. Boache?
Yes.
Good afternoon, and thank you very much for your time this afternoon here on the Pulse.
Okay.
I believe you're following the discussion.
Yeah.
Is this familiar?
Oh, no problem.
Is this familiar?
Yeah.
You understand these terms. Okay, so let's finish here, and then I'm going to come to you and find out what your thoughts are, what the concerns of your members are as far as the computation of your pension is concerned. So, Auntie Gifty, take us through this again. If you opt for 25% lump sum, then your benefit information will be as follows. And it says that will be 3,001 cedi, residual monthly pension of 107 cedis. It makes no sense to me. Please help me.
What it is, if we calculate the annual pension that you're supposed to get, and you decide that I want 25% of my benefits, it's an optional thing that you do.
Okay.
So I decide I want 25% of my benefit.
Like immediately?
Yes. So guaranteed period of 12 years that you are supposed to enjoy the pension money from SNIT will be calculated, and then 25% of that is discounted and given to you.
Okay. And then
and that is what we are seeing here, the 3,001 cedis, 89 pesos will be giving you as your lump sum.
Okay, what this tells me is that this is an option. The 25% is an option that you can go for, right?
Yes.
Okay. Is this about all we should know as far as calculating and computing the pension is concerned?
Yes, as I said, the pension calculation is dependent on your basic salary. And you have seen it all. If the basic is the minimum wage, that's what we use in computing.
Okay.
We will not get any figure from anywhere. The contributions, the salary that you have contributed on, that is what we use in computing. But mind you, it is 11% of your, out of this, that we retain.
Okay.
So you see, you are not taking all the basic salary.
Okay.
You are taking 11%.
Okay, let me bring Mr. Boakye in and let's see the concerns he has and how you can help him with those concerns. Mr. Boakye, we have a rep from SNET who was taking us through essentially how you can do your own calculation of how much you earn at the end of when you go on retirement. But yesterday, TUC raised issues that apparently there are concerns about the computation. What are these concerns?
TUC.
Yeah.
That there is a concern about the calculation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are your own concerns about the computation, the calculation?
No, the calculation, me myself like this, like how the lady is explaining things. Now that I'm getting well to know about how the calculation is.
Wow.
Is it the calculation? Yeah. I can tell you confidently that.
But you've been on pension for how long?
The calculation, me myself, I don't know how the calculation.
That's why I'm asking how long you've been on pension, because then it's very interesting that for as long as you've been on pension and taking the money, you have no idea what was going into it.
Okay, about 10 years ago. About 10 years.
Wow. Well, it's good that we've done this discussion, and I believe that just as it's giving you more information, it has given other people. So right now, you understand everything?
It's very interesting. I understand it. It's very interesting. You see, I know some time ago, some people came to me. Some of them were chief accountants and others, and they complained about the calculations. I took them to SNET office. And I told him that he should ask any questions. They will explain things to him. So they gave him the lesson that he should calculate himself. He tried, he couldn't. You see, he couldn't.
Okay.
But one of them sat him down, explained it one like how the lady is doing, and he understood himself. You see, some of us who doesn't know the calculation and this type, at least. It's not like when they give it to you, then you go. Me, if I don't understand, I go to SNET. I go there for explanation. They explain it to me. So I will encourage our members that if there's anything like that, you don't just sit down and say SNET is teaching me. Go there. They have opened their doors. They will explain it. They will calculate it for you.
Okay.
That's your understanding.
Do you feel that based on the calculation and what you have learned today, that this is a fair way of, rewarding you for working 60 years?
Yeah, I think it's fair.
You think it's fair?
It's good to me.
Okay.
It's good to me. I understand it. I'm very, very happy about the way she explained it. And
okay.
I think most of our people too are also feeling it. They understand.
Okay. Mr. Boakye.
So, but the other time when the TUC matter, I just want to chip in here.
Okay.
You said that the 3 best years calculation and this thing. We too, in fact, we don't understand that if you work for 240 months, you get your listing, and they pick only 3 good listing. Maybe your salary there is not sufficient. That is where we used to cry.
But that's supposed to be your best or your highest salary. But let me give it to her to give you an explanation. Ms. Victoria, help her. He said he doesn't understand that you take just 3.
No, we take 3 best years salary. We'll look at all the years you have contributed. If you, for instance, you worked with a mining institution early part of your years, and you receive so much, maybe 15,000, 20,000 a month, and you come down to the 3 years of your, your last 3 years of your getting to your retirement, and it's about 2,000, 3,000, 5,000.
Yeah.
We take the earlier years.
You take the earlier years. So, Mr. Wache, she's essentially saying that they don't pick the least
or the last 3 years.
The least you made. They pick the highest you've made the last 3 years. The last 3 years.
The last throughout. We check your year of contributions. The years of
throughout your year of contribution, they pick the highest 3, so like the best 3. That's what they pick to do the calculation. Does this make sense?
Yeah, that is what we have been told.
Okay.
That's how they calculate it.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm coming. That's how they calculate it.
Okay.
That is how the calculation is made.
Yeah.
We were also saying that, you see, from the layman point of view, we are also saying that, you see, your salary that you were taking, maybe it was not adequate. Maybe it was a small salary you were taking. So when it comes in to the trade best decision, that is where the agitation is. Oh, I've worked for so many decisions, and we are using the trade decision.
Okay, so now that you understand what goes into it, Mr. Boache, and as the Vice President of the Pensioners Association.
I'm not Vice President. I'm the Deputy General Secretary.
Oh, right, the Deputy General Secretary. So you will take this information to your other members, and then if there are any further concerns, you can raise it with SNIT.
Yeah, that is what I'm saying.
Right.
I'm very happy about the explanation.
Okay.
So our people, we are going to educate them. If the Senate can come in and help.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
That is my problem.
We wish you the best of your retirement years as you continue to enjoy it. Mr. Boache, thank you very much. He's Deputy General Secretary of the Pensioners, Ghana Pensioners Association there. Well, until we did this show, he did not understand the computation. Now he understands. We're going to go on Facebook and take some messages, take some questions as well. Now the thing is, people, I have not necessarily been interested in getting to know how much I'm going to get when I retire. So, and I'm not alone. There are a lot of us who do not get into the details. We know that we're paying SNIT and we expect that at the end of the day we get some money, but how much you get, what goes into it, you don't know. That's what we try to do with this show today. So I'm going to go on Facebook essentially. But quickly, okay, so let's do some Facebook at this point. Jerry Afeku is saying, assuming I need money, can I take part of my contribution before my retirement? Before the retirement?
You cannot, because that is not what the law says.
The law
we are mandated by the law. The law says you should be 55 years and above before you can come and take your money.
So if you're not retired at 55, can you still go for the money? Or you have to retire? You have to retire.
You prove to us that you are no more working. And then we give you income.
Okay, Afeku, you have to retire before you can enjoy. Okay, so this one says the employee contribute 5.5% of his basic salary and the employer 13% of the basic salary on behalf of employee. So you're doing the calculation, essentially what we've done here. 11% is sent to tier 1, 5 to tier 2, and 2.5 to NHIS, which is what we've done here already. So thanks for that information. Isaac Osei says it's the most mysterious mathematical calculation on planet. All they do is to rob workers of their labor. Well, we've just gone through the calculation right now. It's not as mysterious, but whether or not they are robbing the workers, we'll have to get some more information on that. And as Nimako says, tier 1, 13.5% on your basic salary. So it appears, it says as for tier 3, dear, I don't know. We'll watch for my education. I hope you've had that education. But tier 3, help us understand that. Is there part of what we've discussed so far? I don't think so.
Tier 2 is the second tier, and 13.5 goes to the tier 1. So we have mentioned tier 1 and tier 2. Tier 3 is a voluntary thing.
Okay.
You will decide that the two mandatory schemes, the first tier and the second tier, you have no choice. As a worker, you're supposed to be there, but you will have to decide that I want to contribute to the third tier so that when I go on retirement, I will have big sum of money to enjoy. And we have up to 35% of your contributions that will have to go to tier 3. 35 in the sense that 18.5 goes to first tier and second tier, and then 16.5 will go to the tier 3.
Okay, so let me take my final two comments.
The scheme has given room for every worker to have about 35% of your salary going into your pensions, putting it down to cater for your retirement.
Okay. Okay. So Gideon says 13.5 for first year paid by your employer. Again, he's providing information that we already know. Let's go up, let's go up, let's go up. It looks like there was some kind of conversation ongoing there, so someone is trying to respond. But let me find out quickly from you as well. A lot of people have raised concerns about how the money is actually managed. That they believe that people, government is sometimes able to dip its hands into people's pensions that they brought to SNIT. How do you respond to some of these?
Government dipping its hands?
Yeah, not like government, you know, sometimes borrowing from SNIT. Does that even happen?
Borrowing? Not that I know of.
Okay.
Yes.
Right. So we've been having this conversation with SNIT, trying to get you to understand how the calculation, how they compute the amount that they give you at the end of the month when you go on retirement. Basically, we're trying to get you who are not retired yet to understand some of these things so that when you get there, you know. I've been doing this conversation with Victoria Gifty Abedu. She's a manager at SNIT, and she's been helping us to understand these things. These are some of the comments from Twitter. Ernest Mako Ata there. I mean, that comment we read to you on Facebook. But I'd like to take your very quick final comment. We're done. What else should we know? What else should we take away from this conversation?
What I would say is, if you think you are not getting enough as basic salary, you will have to sit down with your employers. It is not a business of SNIT, you know, because we are calculating your pension on your basic salary. So if your basic salary is low, obviously you're going to have low pension. So please do well to engage your employers to increase your, instead of giving you more allowance, they should add it on to your basic salary so that you can pay contributions on your basic salary to enjoy better pensions.
Okay. Gifty, Victoria Gifty Abedu, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you, Gifty.
And thank you very much for this very valuable education that you've given us and to our viewers.